Hello.
Dr. Thomas Polucki.
Hi. Good to be here, Barbara. I'm not sure if Jean can hear you at all.
Let's try now. Jean, can you hear me?
Yes,
Jean, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine, Barbara.
Okay,
Okie dokie
great, great.
pokey.
All right, great. Thank you. We were having a little bit of trouble with the monitor in the studio. So,
Cool.
I'm sorry, Jean, did you hear the login? You responded because we didn't hear you.
Yeah, I did. I could barely hear it, but I gave my response. Are we on the air right
Yes,
now?
yes, we are.
Okay, so we are definitely having some technical problems. We don't know if it's a cell phone hookup or if it's in studio or what, but hopefully, our listeners are able to hear us, and we'll bring them a show that they will learn something from.
All right. I think we're all good now. Everything sounds good. I can hear everybody involved
think
in
I
the
think so too.
conversation now.
Yay.
Did you hear me, Jean?
Now I can't. Barely.
Now you barely can hear
Yeah.
me.
Now I hear you.
Okay, because I'm shouting into the mic.
Okay, then keep shouting.
All right. Don't fall off your chair, Dr. Polucki, if my shout scares you to death.
It's all right. It's good to be here. Good to be back. Hello, Dr. Dorio.
Thomas Polucki, our exquisite, excellent co-host at times, because we speak about so many medical issues that our seniors face.
Absolutely.
And we're facing a pandemic right now, but many seniors have been at home.
Yeah.
And trying to find their way, and they're becoming sedentary and getting out of shape. And are there things that we don't want to enhance any medical problems they might have, but there are things they need to do to make sure that their fitness is still good enough to get around when we really open up. So anything that you can advise our listeners on that might help
Absolutely.
with getting all of us back into shape.
Sure. It's a critical issue, and I'm so glad you brought it up. And I really appreciate that you talk in these terms because, unfortunately, most medical doctors just don't have the time to discuss these issues with their patients. They're so pressured with their schedules and all the regulations that are thrust upon them by, let's just say, Medicare or insurance companies. And if they're operating in a hospital facility, they literally only have a few minutes to get their jobs done. And I really appreciate all the time you take and the fact that you are more of a functionally based doctor than I have ever experienced with any medical doctor. So I really appreciate that.
Plus, he makes home calls.
Yeah. So just
Thank you.
real quickly, I'd like to give myself a plug because I just got chosen by WebMD to represent chiropractic and functional medicine in the Santa Clarita area. So,
Congratulations. That's great.
yeah, it really is. I don't know if people know this or not, but WebMD is the largest source of consumer-driven information for anything related to healthcare. If anybody looks online for something, they're going to most likely come across a WebMD article. And they contacted me, which I actually thought it was fake when they call. I'm like, well, yeah, sure. Like WebMD's going to call me, but they did. And so while the guy's talking to me, I'm checking it. Like I'm on the computer while he's talking to me. Because I was waiting for him to say, "Oh yes, just give us your bank account number and
your social security
and your
number.
social security number."
Oh.
And it's sure enough, it checked out. And the amazing thing is
Cool.
that they are so organized that literally within 24 hours of that conversation, they had my whole profile online, and it would have taken me longer to do that. So
Wow.
yeah,
Congratulations. This is
thank
great.
you, thank you. So I'm excited about that, and
Eh,
so I've had to really uh, refine my conversation, my speaking points, as far as what is functional medicine in the realm of something as mainstream as what is functional medicine, what is chiropractic, how does that fit into something as conventional as WebMD? Because you look at WebMD, it is a very mainstream, conventional medical organization, and now
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing with the big boys because this is Broadway essentially for any healthcare professional, and you really have to step up your game. So now you get into the finer points of what are the differentiations. Where does chiropractic fit into that whole picture? And Barbara, we do a different kind of chiropractic. Where does
Absolutely.
functional medicine fit into that? And what is functional medicine? A lot of people still don't even know what is functional medicine. What are the requirements? Is there a functional medicine university? And yes, it's postgraduate, but yes, I actually have a certification through them. What is what is the difference? And the difference most most commonly in common words is that functional medicine is the conversation about diet and exercise and rehabilitation and lifestyle and stress management, emotionally, mental exercises to try and stay as focused, try and stay as happy and productive as possible. And I believe that that just used to be medicine. Like this is what medicine was at one point.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor would take the time to talk to their patient about, okay, what are you going through? What's going on in your life? Here are some things that I want you to focus on between now and the next time I see you. But unfortunately, because of all the restrictions that any doctor faces these days, some of them placed on us by our governing boards, some of us placed on us by our educational process, some of them placed on us by the insurance companies that are going to decide whether you get paid or not. And a lot of it is driven by consumerism. Like, what does that patient come in expecting? And unfortunately, these days, more often than not, it's, well, what pill is going to fix this problem?
Yep. Yep.
And that's not necessarily the pharmaceutical industry's fault,
No.
but because they are just capitalizing on human nature, people want the easiest answer.
That's right.
And so the pharmaceutical company said, well, it doesn't get much easier than just taking a pill. So we're going to put all of our strategy into giving them that answer that they want. Now, the problem
Mm-hmm.
is that life just doesn't work like that. There is no magic pill. And my wife brought it to my attention just yesterday. She said, "Have you been on Facebook lately?" And I was like, "No, no."
I never
but
go
but
on.
she is because she loves her puppies and, as you know,
Yes.
constantly
Yes.
posting with all her friends about our dogs. Um, she said, I have never seen anything like this. Like every other post is a class action suit or an attorney looking for, clients representing against this drug or that drug or the other. And I was like, really? And she showed me, and she wasn't exaggerating. I don't know if there is a new if some restriction has been lifted from attorneys advertising on Facebook. I don't know what the situation is, but it seemed absolutely incredible the amount of class action suits that are going on against drug companies right now.
Wow.
So the problem is, like I said, I don't blame the drug companies. I mean, they're in business just like everybody else, and
That's right.
they have really focused in on what does our uh, customer want, and customers want to have the
No,
easiest answer
that's
possible.
right. No
And
But
pain.
and
I think it
That's
has
right.
been detrimental to the American people that these pharmaceutical companies have taken advantage of this knowledge. And
sure,
my
Oh, of
personal
course they
belief
have.
is that unfortunately 90% of the doctors that are out there, not like you and I, Thomas, but they're not functional anymore.
no,
They're just write a prescription and that's it. So no, I blame my colleagues. I'm ashamed, but I'm also worried about how the American people have been indoctrinated into this: take a pill and you're going to get better. There's a
That's
lot
right.
more to it than that are on the sidelines,
yeah,
and and that's what we have to talk about in terms of functional status. If a doctor doesn't know um, your weight or your vital signs, I mean that's a part of what they look at. But how about how much you exercise? How about your diet? How about what your stress levels are? Why aren't they asking about that? And they don't.
well,
They
they
don't have
can't
time to do that.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly,
so
and they're
that's
not
that's our
getting.
problem.
It unfortunately it boils down to everybody has to make a living at what they're doing, and the way that medicine is set up right now is you have so much time to get paid for your service, and they will not pay at all if you have an hour-long conversation with a patient talking about their diet or how they emotionally are dealing with something, but they can get paid their full fee service for asking a few bullet point questions and then writing a prescription. So
And that's shameful, though. To me,
yes, it
that
is
just
to
is, and
you and
that's
I,
why
but most people
we but
just
we
need to make a living.
no, and I understand that, but I make a living, and you make a living by knowing your patient.
Yes, of
That's
course.
the big difference, and that's what both you and I practice good medicine, whereas others, I'm just not so sure anymore.
Yeah,
And most the public is aware of this, but they can't find doctors like you and I. And we're busy enough already.
you can find
And
me
I'm
on
at the
WebMD.
yeah, there you go. I love that. I love that. But we have to talk about to our listeners right now that they don't have to accept this.
No.
I just don't think they do, because I do spend my time. I get paid by Medicare, but I spend my time trying to figure out the depth of the problems that they have. So do you.
Yeah.
And to me, that's we should be angry about that. But you're right, exactly. This is the way everything is set up right now, and people are making their money and making their profit. But we're out there to take care of people, take care of patients, take care of families, take care of this community. So let's tell them.
Yeah.
You have your finger right on the pulse of the community. You can tell them exactly what we do, what you do, to assure that they're taken care of.
Absolutely. So I'd like to focus a little bit about what is what is some physical activity that, even if you're quadriplegic, even if you're dual amputee, what kind of physical exercise can you realistically do? Let's say you're uh, at least you can breathe on your own. As long as you can breathe on your own, I would like to go over step by step. Do we have time in this segment? We got 4 minutes. Maybe in the next segment. So I'm just going to tease it and set it up in this segment. And when we get
Hmm.
back from the break, I'll go over it step by step. What is one of the most important exercises that literally there are no excuses to do on a daily basis? How do you get the full benefit of exercise without moving any other muscle than your diaphragm? Because breathing is where most of the benefit comes from exercise. It is cardiovascular. It is going to improve your aerobic capacity. It's going to stimulate your immune system. It's going to improve your digestion. And it's
Hmm.
a simple act that we all knew as babies, but has been conditioned out of us through daily activities to the point where one of the first things I do with my patients is I ask them to take a few deep breaths and I watch how they do it. And more than 90% out of the time, unless they've had extensive either Tai Chi or yoga training, they're doing it in a way that actually causes more stress in their body than does give them any kind of health benefit. So is that a good enough tease? When we get back from the
Yes,
break,
it
I'm going to
is.
show you exactly how to breathe the way that we once knew how to do. It's built into us, but we all forgot how to do it for the most part.
Okay,
Yep.
we will be back in a few minutes to speak with Dr. Thomas Polucki. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS.
If you're in need of physical therapy, check out Focus Physical Therapy. Owner and therapist Adam Laraway has the latest in cutting-edge technology, introducing the Newbie, the ultimate in neuromuscular re-education. The Newbie can help you heal up to 70% faster and was FDA cleared in September 2017. The Newbie uses pulse direct current, which mimics the same neurological signals the brain uses and allows the therapist to identify those signals with 100% accuracy. Newbie can even help improve your sleep while tackling issues with neck, knee, and shoulder pain, sciatica, and arthritis. It can accelerate your fitness progress, which means better results in less sessions. Get stronger quicker. Why not use the same technology that the Dodgers and the LA Clippers use? Focus PT, located on Peachland off Lyons in Newhall. Call 255-4205. Go online at focusphysicaltherapyscv.com.
We salute our veterans who sacrifice for our freedom. Every week, we share an inspirational story of a local veteran on our Hometown Heroes page at hometownstation.com. Thanks to our good friends at Eternal Valley.
I'm Richard Nunnally, General Manager of Eternal Valley Memorial Park and Mortuary. We believe taking care of each other is what community is all about. We're proud to bring you the stories of our hometown heroes.
Eternal Valley, life well celebrated.
Visit hometownstation.com, sponsored by Eternal Valley.
Starting July 1st, the Biden administration approved new stimulus funding for small business. Small businesses who are in areas of the country, such as, say, Santa Clarita, where government orders affected business operations, they're able to have their payroll reimbursed under the American Rescue Plan, similar to how they were under PPP. There are also guaranteed funds for any business who started operating during the COVID-19 pandemic. To find out more, visit hometownstation.com/stimulus.
Olive Terrace Bar and Grill is the hottest new Mediterranean fusion restaurant in Santa Clarita with unique delicacies like seafood right off the boat, mouth-watering prime steaks, artesian sandwiches, delicious pastas, and tasty kebabs. Unwind on their cozy outdoor patio at their weekend champagne brunch, full menu, and weekly specials at oliveterracebarandgrill.com. Check out their full bar and happy hour daily specials in Valencia on Copper Hill and Newhall Ranch Road by LA Fitness. Olive Terrace Bar and Grill, delicious food seasoned with love.
Gavin Newsom is the most arrogant governor the state has ever seen. He's imposed some of the most restricted COVID mandates than any other state in the country, and yet California is no safer than any other state. I'm Arif Halaby, owner of Total Financial Solutions. We've been assisting Southern California residents with their financial goals for over 25 years. Under Newsom, my friends, neighbors have lost their jobs and their businesses. Our kids have lost a full year of in-school education and will now be forced to wear uncomfortable, restrictive masks. This is all in defiance to the very science Newsom and his cohorts pledged to follow. COVID restrictions, a spike in crime, and a homeless crisis are all blamed on Newsom's policies. More than 1,900 people a day have left the state of California. Enough is enough. It's time for a change. On September 14th, I urge you to vote to recall Governor Gavin Newsom. We support replacing him with Larry Elder, not a politician, but a leader with sensible solutions. So let's fix California. Vote for Larry Elder. Visit electelder.com. That's electelder.com.
Discover the memory care your loved one deserves at Oakmont of Valencia. Oakmont's brand new luxury senior living community in Santa Clarita. Oakmont's innovative memory care program features stimulating and engaging activities in a soothing environment, as well as compassionate professional care delivered in the privacy of the residents' apartment homes. With 2 gorgeous outdoor courtyards, as well as an on-site movie theater, residents will enjoy a life full of vitality, dignity, and purpose. For more information, visit oakmontofvalencia.com.
Loss of hearing can affect the quality of life. Santa Clarita Hearing Center can help. They specialize in both preventative hearing loss and corrective measures, including diagnostic tests, new technology hearing aids, cochlear implants, hearing protection, and tinnitus treatment. They can adjust your current hearing aids or fit you for new ones. Santa Clarita Hearing Center also offers sleep molds, swim molds, and musician monitors. Book an appointment today. Log on to SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com, located on McBean Parkway next to the hospital. That's SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com.
Your hometown station.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. And we are speaking with Dr. Thomas Polucki.
Yeah.
And my goodness, what a conversation.
Yeah, so just to bring people up to speed, in the first segment we were talking about what is one exercise that is there, unless you're on a breathing machine, unless you're on artificial respiration. In a wheelchair, while you're sitting, while you're standing, while you're walking. And one of the things that amazes me is that in the field of functional medicine, just like anything else, you see some people come in with some things that one of my colleagues has shown them, and I'm embarrassed to be associated with, that. There is literally a movement right now that is saying that, oh, you need to control your breathing. You're addicted to breathing. And I'm like, excuse me?
What?
Yeah, I don't want to get too much into it, but there's a very, very successful person that is telling people that they're addicted to breathing. And I'm just like, please.
I don't think I've ever heard him.
Yeah, exactly.
Is he radio or?
I don't want to get into it.
Okay.
I don't want to give him any more attention than I just did.
Okay.
But breathing is essential, obviously. I mean, you've got 3 minutes without oxygen before your brain starts shutting down. It's one of the most important things. In fact, it is the most vital external element there is. If you don't breathe, you're out of it in a very short period of time. You got 3 days to find water, but you've got 3 minutes to find oxygen, right? So it's kind of important. Now, here's the rub. Most of us breathe very shallowly all the time and never really fill our lungs at all. And that causes a couple of problems. One, we're not exchanging the carbon dioxide is our main waste product, and some ammonia, but most of that's handled through the kidneys. But mostly carbon dioxide and nitrogen is our atmosphere is mostly nitrogen.
Right.
We're trying to extract oxygen because that's what fuels our respiration on a cellular level. We're trying to extract that 18% of oxygen out of like 80% nitrogen, right? So it's kind of important to do that as efficiently as possible. Now that's just the breathing part of it. However, when you breathe shallowly like that, you're not stimulating the immune system. You're not stimulating the circulatory system. So everything is kind of collapsing in on itself when you don't really drop that diaphragm to fill the chest cavity with your lungs filling up with oxygen. So there's a lot at stake. And that's just the mechanics. That's just the mechanics of the circulation going on. But there's a whole nother level. There's a whole nother level of what happens in your central nerve system, what happens in your brain when the oxygen levels start going down, when the carbon dioxide levels start going up, and also what happens when you start using your neck muscles to try to raise your rib cage instead of using the diaphragm to drop the entire cavity that your lungs are in, to fill with oxygen. So, again, a lot of information there, but
that's heavy information.
yeah,
too.
let's keep it real simple. So, if you take right now, you take one hand and put it on your belly, and you put one hand right under your neck on your breastbone, and you take a big deep breath. Yeah, so Barbara's doing it in the studio right now, and I can see from across the room that 90% of the movement happened in her chest, and not even 10% happened in her belly. So what that's telling me is these little neck muscles that are designed to just turn your head or tilt your head in one way or another are now being engaged to try to raise the entire chest cavity, which they are not designed to do at all. So
I could feel that. That's amazing.
That stresses everything out. And puts an immediate emergency response signal into the central nerve system. It's processed in the brain, and instead of getting all the benefits of that oxygen and circulation and good chemistry going on, you're flooding the body with stress chemicals instead, because it's immediately triggering the emergency response on a hormonal level, on a brain chemistry level. So that's why when people start running and they start feeling short of breath and their chest tightens up and they start immediately feeling fatigued and like, oh, I can't run anymore, and all of a sudden your legs start spasming up, it's not real. It's because you're triggering the emergency response and shutting all that good stuff down. But you can turn all that around with one simple trick, and that is, instead of trying to heave your chest, just fill your belly. Drop the diaphragm down. It takes a little bit of work. There's a little bit of learning curve, and it takes a little practice, because most of us are so well practiced at upper chest breathing that we totally forgot how to use our diaphragms and drop it down. Unless you're a professional singer or you study yoga or Tai Chi, most of the benefit from those health practices is from breathing properly.
That makes sense.
So when you drop the diaphragm, which is what it's there for, it's a pretty big, powerful muscle. When you drop the diaphragm to fill your lungs with oxygen, you get oxygen all the way down into the bottom of the lungs, where a lot of good stuff happens. But you're also totally expanding the lungs, where they put pressure on the heart, where they put pressure on the return supply of the entire circulation system. And I'm not just talking about blood, but I'm also talking about the lymphatic system. The blood has the benefit of this big, strong muscle, the heart, to pump the good, fresh, oxygenated blood through the entire system and get the old, oxygen-deprived, carbon dioxide-rich blood in through the lungs, so that whole process can start over again. So at least that part of circulation is handled by the heart, but the other circulation, which is critically important, especially these days, your immune system doesn't have a pump. It relies on that deep breathing to create a vacuum and suck the fluids, the clear part of your blood, the lymph, through that system and to have it processed throughout the entire body. And without this deep breathing that happens when you breathe with your diaphragm, that whole system stagnates and shuts down. So you're getting like when I saw you, like 90% of the activity was happening in your chest and only 10% of it was happening below the rib cage. That's 90% deprived of all that goodness that every breath should give you.
Wow.
So just understand the other thing, part of this is the oxygen level.
Sure.
That when they take a deep breath, and just from my own knowledge, almost all my patients have purchased an oximeter, and I have one. And
What's
when
an
I wake up
oximeter?
in the morning, it's you put it on your finger and it measures your oxygen level.
Oh.
And so for now 2 years, a year and a half with COVID, I wake up, I take my blood pressure, but I put the oximeter on, and it's about 95, 96 sometimes. But when I take deep breath, it goes up to 98, 99.
Yeah, we
always.
like that.
But it just shows, though, that, you wake up from sleep. You haven't been taking on your own deep breaths, but when you start to move around, you start to do that. And you realize that by taking deep breaths, your oxygen level will go up. So all of those who have oximeters can experiment on their own and increase that oxygen level. And you'll be, getting good breaths. You'll be helping your immune system, your lymphatic system, your circulation. All of that will happen, allowing you to better health and better oxygen.
Yeah,
so something to think about your own home exercises and oxygen levels.
Sure. I've seen it dramatically improve digestive symptoms that
There you go.
that medications were actually making worse. I've seen it improve immune response. I've seen it improve digestion. I've seen it improve sleep. And here's the thing. When I do this, oftentimes people will tell me, "Oh yes, well I've had breath training." And then they get into this like weird pose, like some kind of yoga pose or something, and they say they start doing it, and I look, and yes, their belly is moving properly. I said, but how practical is that when you're, on your third mile? When you're running, when you really need it, not when you're just sitting in this really crazy pose. But how does that apply? I mean, I just asked you to take a deep breath, and you had to go lay on the floor in order to do it properly. I'm like, wait, no, you don't. You've gotten some bad instruction there.
absolutely.
Breathing happens all the time, and you should breathe right, whether you're sitting there, whether you're lying there, whether you're running or whatever. And it's actually so much more important when you're running, to breathe properly. Or you can look at it the other way. It's so much more important to breathe properly when you're sitting there in front of the computer, because that's how most people spend the overwhelming majority of their time. So if you have to stop everything you're doing just to breathe properly, I think there's an important missing piece of information there for most people. So breathing is more of a matter of dropping the diaphragm and not moving the chest at all to breathe properly than any other thing, any other aspect of it. Now, to supercharge it, if you breathe in through your nose instead of through your mouth, as long as people can do that, as long as people can take a deep breath in through their nose, there's this structure in the top of your nose that creates something called nitric oxide. And nitric oxide has Nobel Prize winning Nobel Prize winning research that actually it repairs this molecule, which is pretty much what the atmosphere is. It's just an atom of nitrogen and an atom of oxygen together. This molecule is a miracle repair. It repairs injuries in the arteries, in the veins, in the hearts, in any tissues it comes in contact with, because it's such a fundamental structure. It's half of what everything is built out of. You know, you've got carbon, you've got hydrogen, you've got oxygen, you've got nitrogen. So when you have nitric oxide, it's like the perfect repair material. And it has been shown to effectively treat heart disease if you've got enough of it in circulation. And that's the problem. Most people don't, because they're not breathing properly. We're designed to create our own nitric oxide. And there are studies out there that show, oh, it decreases with age. I'm like, yeah, I don't know that it decreases with age. I'm sure you can prove that with statistics. But the bottom line is, if you don't breathe deeply through your nose over time, yes, that deficit is going to accumulate with age. I think it's a factor of function, not a factor of aging. And at any age, you start breathing deeply through your nose, you're going to have more nitric oxide circulating.
Yeah. And then it brings us back to what we were talking about before, right at the beginning, about medication, because at least for our older adults, when they take certain medication, especially pain medication, it affects the breathing. It affects the diaphragm, so you're breathing less. Voila. It creates and enhances other problems because you're not breathing right. How about that? Full circle.
Nice tie.
Full circle.
Full circle.
Do we need to take a break? Yes, we do.
Yep.
I thought so. I was kind of looking at that evil eye over there. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS.
If you're in need of physical therapy, check out Focus Physical Therapy. Owner and therapist Adam Laraway has the latest in cutting-edge technology, introducing the Newbie, the ultimate in neuromuscular re-education. The Newbie can help you heal up to 70% faster and was FDA cleared in September 2017. The Newbie uses pulse direct current, which mimics the same neurological signals the brain uses and allows the therapist to identify those signals with 100% accuracy. Newbie can even help improve your sleep while tackling issues with neck, knee, and shoulder pain, sciatica, and arthritis. It can accelerate your fitness progress, which means better results in less sessions. Get stronger quicker. Why not use the same technology that the Dodgers and the LA Clippers use? Focus PT, located on Peachland off Lyons in Newhall. Call 255-4205. Go online at focusphysicaltherapyscv.com.
You just had an accident. Now what?
I'm Caesar from Body Shop 661. After you get into a car accident and call your insurance company, chances are they're going to send you to a cut-rate auto body just to save themselves some money.
So, what do I do?
Call me at Body Shop 661. Your car will get taken care of as if it were my own. No second-rate parts, and the job isn't finished until it's done right. Body Shop 661 handles all types of vehicles, foreign and domestic. Plus, I work with all insurance companies.
Locally owned and operated for over 20 years. On Ruther, just past Home Depot. Call Body Shop 661 at 251-2252.
The San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance is inviting everyone to bring their smiles to the San Diego Zoo and the San Diego Zoo Safari for amazing outdoor experiences. Guests will have the opportunity to see amazing wildlife up close, enjoy wondrous entertainment after dark at the San Diego Zoo, or journey through the wild and wondrous terrain at the Safari Park. A visit to the zoo must begin with a stop at the newly opened Komodo Kingdom, home to a pair of the world's largest lizards, Komodo dragons. A few steps to the habitat next door, an immersive aviary modeled after a cenote bursting with tropical plant life and buzzing with numerous eye-catching species of hummingbirds and other winged beauties. From almost anywhere in the safari park, you can hear it, a roar that strikes deep in your chest. At Lion Camp, you can come eye to eye with these magnificent predators, equally impressive whether indulging in a catnap or strutting around their kingdom. Stop into one of the Safari Park's retail stores. Your purchases help support our conservation work worldwide. Learn more at stzwa.org.
Introducing Oakmont of Valencia, Oakmont's second luxury senior living community in Santa Clarita. At Oakmont of Valencia, you'll have access to full-time assisted living services provided by compassionate staff in the privacy of your own home. Oakmont's Diabetic Wellness Program offers assistance with monitoring and managing glucose levels, meals, exercise, and activities. Oakmont of Valencia offers a fully equipped wellness center and concierge medical program, allowing outside physicians to visit on site. Discover the care your loved ones deserve in a resort-style setting. Visit oakmontofvalencia.com.
Loss of hearing can affect the quality of life. Santa Clarita Hearing Center can help. They specialize in both preventative hearing loss and corrective measures, including diagnostic tests, new technology hearing aids, cochlear implants, hearing protection, and tinnitus treatment. They can adjust your current hearing aids or fit you for new ones. Santa Clarita Hearing Center also offers sleep molds, swim molds, and musician monitors. Book an appointment today. Log on to SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com. Located on McBean Parkway next to the hospital. That's SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com.
My dad is the best plumber ever. Plumbing by Kurt.
It's been quite a few years since I recorded that commercial with my father, and although my voice has changed, one thing hasn't. My dad is still the best plumber ever. Over the years, Plumbing by Kirk has taken care of Santa Clarita and all their plumbing issues, including clogged drains, running toilets, and so much more. Plumbing emergencies? Not a problem. He and his team are a pro at those too. Call now for estimates on new drain installations, old drain replacements, and water heaters. 263-6519 or log on to plumbingbykirk.com. My dad is the best plumber ever.
It's like no other station I've ever listened to. It's great.
Your hometown station.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS. And we're speaking with Dr. Thomas Polucki, or should I say, Sir Dr. Thomas Polucki.
No, the queen hasn't given me that call yet, but
Yet.
I'm open to it.
You hear that, Gene? Yet.
I think we may be running on some borrowed time there, so I'm hoping to get that call any day now.
I don't know. She's still pretty spry for 99.
God bless her.
Good heavens above. It's amazing, isn't it? Amazing.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we spent all last segment talking about the simple exercise of breathing and how to get all the benefits of exercise even without lifting a finger, literally. But if you can, there's so much more you can do as well, and that's where a consultation with me might really help. We do accept government issue Medicare, but not if it's been taken over by someone like Kaiser or anyone like that. So it might be a real good idea to at least get a consultation and see what you can be doing to get the most out of whatever activities you're able to do, and make sure that you're able to do more and more activities if
And
that's
especially
possible.
our seniors.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Especially.
Yeah, this audience, sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
And, it's
interesting
functional
because
medicine.
I get up in the morning, lie on the bed, and put my feet, my legs up and down.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other morning, the telephone rang, and I jumped up real quick. And I thought, oh, I had to sit back down.
Yeah.
Because
Got used to it.
it took my breath away, literally, because I got up so quick.
Yeah.
And that's so stupid to do.
Well, no, it's not stupid. Everybody is going to do that, especially if you have to get up in the middle of the night. But I do recommend before you take that first step, you do a little bit of movement. Before you
absolutely.
even sit up, do a little bit of movement, because as we get older, it can take a little bit of time for all the systems to kick in and auto-regulate that blood pressure, especially if you're taking any kind of blood pressure medication. That makes it even harder for the body to auto-regulate, make sure that there's enough blood and oxygen getting up to the brain. So like you did, like just do a little flutter kick. And if you can't, if you're not able to do that, just clench your fists, open and close your fists. That's a trick from the flight surgeon, the Air Force flight surgeon, to help regulate blood pressure for pilots that can't take medication. If you just open and close your fists, a handful of times before you try to sit up, I think that can help a lot.
Very
There you go.
interesting
And I
information.
do the same thing, and I do my hands and move my hands and wrists and my feet and stretch out the Achilles, and then I get up after that. So you have to take those deep breaths, get that oxygen level up. You got to move your body beforehand. It's essential to rev it up. I mean, remember when with the car, when you're with your car, you warm it up a little bit. You got to warm your body up a little bit too before you start trying to move forward.
Absolutely.
And when you walk, it's better to start off slowly, whether you're going to walk or whether you're going to run. You're not running a marathon and you're not walking a marathon, but keep those muscles moving, get yourself started, and you'll have a much better walk and a much safer walk.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You really will. It's amazing. And
but
that's why I do what I do in the morning.
Yeah, and it also helps with arthritis.
Yes,
the first
absolutely.
few steps, the first few movements, especially when you've been lying still for hours, are usually the most painful. And unfortunately, if you spend all your body's natural anti-inflammatory on dealing with those first few steps of the morning, you're going to be at a deficit for the rest of the day. And for most people, possibly require some help with anti-inflammation in the form of, some kind of over-the-counter anti-inflammatory or even a prescription. But as long as you can reserve your own natural anti-inflammatory, which is cortisol, it's one of the main hormones in your body. It is a master control hormone that pretty much controls every other hormone in your body. As long as you have a pretty decent reserve of that going and you don't spend it on, being in pain when you wake up, it goes a long way towards not needing so much pain medication, so much anti-inflammatory medication throughout the rest of your day.
But, once again, getting back and coming full circle, with prescriptions, you try not to have too many prescriptions needed on board. You try to utilize the natural well-being of the body and, have functional physicians, doctors, chiropractors, whatever we are, all of us who practice functional medicine and talk to their patients. So if people want to talk to you, Thomas, how do they get a hold of you?
Well, for this audience, they're probably more comfortable with a phone than they are with a computer, but I'm not going to make any judgments. The phone number is, in this area code, 753-9340. And online, it's my name, drpolucki.com. So that's drpolucki.com.
Right.
That was easy, don't you think? For us senior minds.
Yes. Well, 661-753-9340. And, honestly, things have changed in medicine, hasn't it? And we've talked about that, especially earlier in the program, but we talk about it all the time. And I know our patients talk to us about it all the time as well. And it's sad we've gotten away from good medicine and good functional medicine, but it is still being practiced in Santa Clarita. And Dr. Thomas Polucki is definitely one of those who is practicing the kind of medicine that should be practiced in our community. Thank you, Dr. Polucki,
Thank you.
for
Always
being
a
on
pleasure.
our show today. Once again, it's his phone number is 661-753-9340. Thanks again for being on the show. You bring wisdom to all of us and good medical care. We thank you for that. We are sponsored by Comfort Keepers In-Home Care and Santa Clarita Hearing Center. Listen to us next week on the Senior Hour. Now go and enhance your quality of life.